What if I told you that the men who leave the deepest mark on women's minds are not the loudest, not the strongest, and not the most charming, but the calmest? Men who move through chaos like still water. Men whose silence speaks louder than 100 voices. In the next minutes, you'll see why this presence creates obsession, why women test endlessly to break it, and why they fail. Because hidden beneath every reaction, every game, every word unspoken, lies a truth about female desire so powerful, it rewrites everything you thought you knew about attraction. Most men never realize how much their own restlessness destroys attraction. You've felt it before. The urge to fill every silence with words, to send one more text just so she doesn't forget you, to explain every decision so she won't be upset. It feels harmless in the moment, even logical. But to her, it reveals everything. It tells her you are unsettled inside, that you need her approval to feel steady. Women don't consciously think, he's insecure. Instead, they simply feel it. They sense the hidden tension in your voice, the way your eyes search for reassurance, the way you rush to prove you're enough. And once they sense it, they can't unsee it. This is where calm becomes magnetic. A man who can hold silence without fear, who can sit in a room without performing, radiates something rare. He shows that his center is unshaken. And that's what she can't resist, because it's what almost every man lacks. But here's the problem. Most men mistake calm for acting cold, pretending not to care, or shutting down emotionally. That isn't calm. That's fear wearing a mask. True calm is presence. It's when your actions come from choice, not reaction. And the first step, the smallest shift you can make, is this. Stop explaining yourself. The more you justify, the more you signal weakness. The less you explain, the more she wonders. Because calm isn't something you tell her you have. It's something she feels when you stop needing her permission to be yourself. If over-explaining is the first trap, overreacting is the second. Most men don't realize how predictable they become when a woman pushes their buttons. She pulls back slightly, and he panics. She takes longer to reply, and he spirals. She makes a sharp comment, and he defends himself as if his entire worth is on trial. This reaction tells her everything. Not because she consciously plans it, but because every woman has felt the difference between a man who wavers and a man who doesn't. When your emotions spike with every shift in her mood, she sees it instantly, and she knows she has control. But the man who stays calm when tested, who doesn't crumble when she withdraws, creates a different effect entirely. Instead of proving himself, he proves he's unshakable. And that calm unsettles her more than any words ever could. The fix is not to shut down, and it's not to fight back. It's to pause, breathe, allow the space between her action and your reaction. That moment of stillness, where you choose rather than explode, is where your power is built. Because here's the truth. She isn't looking for perfection. She's looking for your center. And if you can hold it when everything feels uncertain, she'll feel it more strongly than anything you could ever say. And that's just the beginning. Because the deeper you go into this calm, the more it rewires not only how she sees you, but how you see yourself. There's another reason calm men stay in a woman's mind long after the moment has passed. They're unreadable. Most men don't realize how transparent they are. Every thought flashes across their face. Every fear leaks through their tone. Every hope is written in their words. And when a woman can read you like a map, the mystery dies. But the man who carries himself with composure is different. He doesn't rush to fill the silence. He doesn't reveal every emotion. And he doesn't need to explain what he's thinking. That quiet restraint forces her to lean in, to guess, to imagine. And imagination is far more powerful than anything you could ever tell her. This doesn't mean becoming a stone wall. It's not about suppressing emotion or acting detached. It's about balance. Showing just enough for her to feel your presence, but never so much that she can predict your every move. Think about it. The movie that keeps you on the edge of your seat is the one you can't predict. Attraction works the same way. If she already knows what you'll say, what you'll do, and how you'll feel, there's nothing left to chase. So the shift is simple, but not easy. Stop making yourself fully legible. Don't rush to broadcast your thoughts. Hold some of it back, because the less you reveal, the more space you create in her mind. And that space is where obsession grows. Too many men confuse calm with passivity. They think being calm means being quiet, agreeable, or soft. But that's not calm. That's submission. And submission doesn't inspire respect. It invites dismissal. True calm is the opposite. It's the stillness of a man who could act, but chooses not to. The kind of calm you see in a lion resting under the sun. Powerful enough to kill with a single strike, but so secure in his strength that he doesn't need to prove it. That's the edge most men are missing. Women feel this difference instantly. The man who stays calm because he has no fight in him radiates weakness. The man who stays calm because he owns himself radiates danger. And that danger is magnetic. She can sense it in the way he holds eye contact without blinking, in the way he listens without rushing to respond, in the way he stays grounded when others lose control. Here's where most men go wrong. They try to perform masculinity instead of embodying it. They think raising their voice, flexing their status, or showing aggression proves strength. But real strength doesn't need to announce itself. Real strength is calm. And when you begin to carry that edge, when you walk into a room and people feel you before you speak, the game changes. She can't treat you like every other man, because every other man is chasing, reacting, proving. You aren't. And that gap between what she expects and what you actually give her is where her fascination begins. Another reason calm men stay in a woman's mind long after the moment has passed. They're unreadable. Most men don't realize how transparent they are. Every thought flashes across their face. Every insecurity leaks through their tone. It's like reading an open book that you can skim in seconds. And once you've finished a book, you put it back on the shelf. But the man who doesn't give away his every move, the man whose eyes reveal nothing, whose voice never trembles, he becomes a puzzle that gnaws at her thoughts. She starts replaying the conversation in her head. Did he mean something by that pause? Why didn't he react when most men would? Is he disinterested, or is he simply beyond her reach? The truth is, unpredictability fuels obsession. The movie that keeps you on the edge of your seat is the one you can't predict. The man who cannot be predicted, who doesn't reveal his entire inner world in one glance, becomes that movie. And once a woman begins watching, she can't look away. This is not about games or deception. It's about strength. It's about being so centered in who you are that you don't need to fill the silence with nervous chatter or spill every thought just to keep someone's attention. Because attention earned by mystery lasts longer than attention begged for with noise. And calm men know, the less they reveal, the more she imagines. And imagination is always more powerful than reality. There's a strange law of human desire. The less someone seems to need us, the more we feel pulled toward them. Think of the man who never scrambles to reply, who doesn't orbit her moods, who treats her storms with the same unshaken calm as he treats a sunny day. To most women, this is maddening, not because he is cold, but because he is free. And freedom is the one thing every person secretly craves, yet fears to face. You see, most interactions are built on invisible chains of approval. She frowns, and the average man bends. She praises, and he lights up like a child given candy. But the calm man, he doesn't bend, and he doesn't chase. His emotions aren't up for auction. That refusal to submit creates a force that feels like gravity. Quiet, steady, impossible to resist. It's not arrogance. In fact, arrogance is loud and fragile. True detachment is soft-spoken. It doesn't scream, it doesn't perform. It simply is. And in that presence, a woman begins to feel something rare. She's not in control of the script anymore. That's why so many women obsess over calm men long after the encounter is over. They replay every word, every glance, trying to decode a mystery that was never meant to be solved. Because a man who isn't easily swayed becomes something more than a suitor. He becomes a mirror. And in that mirror, she sees both her hunger for power and her deep attraction to strength. It's in this paradox, detachment wrapped in gravity, that calm men drive women to the edge of fascination. And sometimes, madness. Every man knows what it feels like to be overlooked, to stand in a room where louder voices dominate, where the showmen and charmers seem to win every glance. And it's easy to believe that if you are not the loudest, the strongest, or the boldest, you're invisible. But here's the reality. Being invisible is often the most dangerous position of all. Because while others burn their energy fighting for attention, the calm man studies. He observes, he listens, and in silence, he sees what others miss. The cracks, the games, the insecurities hidden beneath the noise. This is why calm men unsettle women so deeply. They're unpredictable. A woman can read the loud man. She knows his hunger, his vanity, his next move. But the quiet one? His stillness is unreadable. She doesn't know if he's interested, if he's judging, or if he's completely indifferent. That uncertainty pulls at her mind like a loose thread she can't stop tugging. And the more she can't read him, the more her curiosity sharpens. She wonders what he's thinking, why he doesn't react like everyone else, why he doesn't bend to her tests. That mystery plants itself in her head, growing silently with every unanswered question. The truth is, calm men don't chase validation because they already carry a sense of self that can't be shaken. And here's the part that hooks women without them even realizing it. When a man cannot be easily swayed, he becomes a puzzle. And puzzles are addictive. So while most men exhaust themselves trying to prove their worth, the calm man leaves space. Space for curiosity, space for desire, space for a woman's imagination to run wild. And in that empty space, obsession takes root. So here's the truth you've been waiting for. Becoming the calm man isn't about tricks. It's about mastery of yourself. You don't drive women crazy by pretending not to care. You do it by actually not needing their approval. That calm is built in silence, in discipline, in controlling your emotions when the world around you is pulling for a reaction. Start small. The next time you feel the urge to over-explain yourself, stop. When someone tests your patience, breathe before you speak. Build routines that make you grounded. Train your body, focus your mind. Live with purpose outside of women. Because when your life is full, when your peace isn't negotiable, women feel it instantly. And that's the paradox. The less you chase, the more they want to understand you. The less you react, the more they lean in to see what's behind your stillness. Calm isn't weakness, it's control. And control, in a world of chaos, is magnetic. Become the man who doesn't flinch, who doesn't beg, who doesn't break, and you'll find that obsession follows naturally.